All right, welcome everybody back to another new episode of Drunken Guardian. I'm your host, Danny Martinez, the Drunken Guardian, and today we also have Danny, the Sober Guardian. Say hi.
Hey, what's up? How's it going?
Uh, we're going to talk about Dad of War, aka God of War, aka Kratos Angry Man, aka I don't know. This is a video game show, uh, channel, but doesn't mean we can't talk about video game TV shows and movies and stuff like that. So we're gonna talk about our thoughts on the show that hasn't been released yet. We were getting drip fed some information on the show. So I thought we'd just talk about what our impressions are and our hopes and feelings of the show coming to fruition. First, I'd like to mention the first God of War game. Yes, we're old men. We played the game back in 2005 when it came out on the PS2. Um, and then we're going towards the PS4 version, which the reboot, I guess you can say, it's not necessarily a remake, but a reboot of the game came out in 2018. Um, the original creator for the first God of War is David Jaffe. And I mention this because we have the second creator, which is the 2018 creator, that is Cory Barlog. Um, Cory Barlog has very much his hand in this new show. And David Jaffe did not really appreciate uh, the new perception of Kratos. Kratos in the original game was very much just a very angry man killing everything. That's all it was. The first three games, it was just a lot of fun, bloody action. Still had a great story, but Kratos' personality was just I'm always angry. I'm always out for revenge. I kill everything. Um, and then Corey kind of humanized him, I guess, a little bit with the new God of War reboot. He has a son now. Time has passed since the original first three, and it takes place. Well, I should say the original takes place with the Greek mythology because Kratos is Greek. But this new rebooted version focuses on the Norse mythology. He kind of killed pretty much everything. And he ran away to kind of escape everything, and I guess he's in the Norse mythology, the Norse world. So he found himself a wife, found himself a new love. He has his son now, and the game focuses on him and his son, and a lot happens from that point on. The show will focus on 10 episodes following, like I said, the Norse mythology, with Kratos and Atreus, which is his son. They won't begin shooting until next year at the earliest. And funny enough, they already greenlit a second season, which is I I I hope they're not just jumping the gun on it because it's God of War and they know that there's going to be hype behind it. I hope they actually seen the script and just know it's that damn good that it warrants a second season. Like I said, Corey Barlock is actively involved, and in a talk with IGN, uh, the director for the TV show, he says the tone of the show is trying to emulate the tone of the game, which is there's an epic journey, this heartfelt story of these two men setting out on this thing to honor the memory of their wife or Atreus' mom. So it has this emotional heart, but there's also a sense of history about who Kratos is, a mystery about his past, what he represents, and the emotions he's going through. So there's a weight to it, but not so much weight that there's not enjoyment along the way, and there's spectacle, and there's lots of things going on in this world. So, Sober Guardian, are you excited for the show with all the info that we got so far?
Yeah, I'm super excited. I can't wait for this. It's going to be really phenomenal. Absolutely love the story of of the new Dad of War. Um, the old story was very. It's heartbreaking when you think about it of what actually what came to fruition with his the original story is For those who don't know, the dad, I mean, his whole
Kratos.
Kratos is tricked by the gods, Zeus or whoever it was, um, to killing his family. He became this god of war. All he cared about was war because he, like you said, he was an angry man. All he wanted to do is war, kill, and destroy. And when he was offered power to kill and destroy, he was tricked into killing his entire family. And with that, he wanting to kill the god, they cursed him wearing the ashes of his family on his skin. His ashes has skin is permanently tattooed onto himself. And then obviously with the chains, and then from there on, there is no real story. It's just I'm mad now, I'm gonna kill everything. And there is no real story. I mean, yes, they have some minute like little nuances from part one to part two, don't get me wrong. But the story kind of stops there because those were back in the day where it just was about gameplay and not big story arc. Now gaming has evolved. Gaming is more of a story arc, but entertainment is a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Better than movies in a lot of cases, and this is very much the case where this was a phenomenal game to play, really fucking fun to play. Along with it, it fucking made you cry. Like it tugged the heartstrings of and it to me it was so annoying to hear that the original creator didn't like this version of Kratos because to me it makes sense. You have the world's angriest man eventually has to calm down and has to have some sense of normalcy. He was normal before. He got tricked, he got revenge, he became a god. And he even acknowledges that, like, I had it all. And
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to leave and forget about it because all I remembered was the death of my family. And then fell in love and then starts anew, like one would. This is how you deal with grief, right? It's the whole concept of how you deal with grief. Your wife dies, this just really sucks, but then eventually, in a long fucking time, you're gonna have to rebuild yourself. And that's what he did. But he still had the old Kratos in him, and it came out a lot. And the fact that the way they showed that was awesome. Like he was still a very angry man, but who was trying to hide it because he has his son next to him. He doesn't want to scare his son.
trying to
It's like that
set an
whole concept.
example.
Exactly. Like yes, it's easy. I can just rip through all these people and kill them, but maybe this is not the answer. Anger is not the answer. Like him trying to teach his son that it's not about revenge, that he's done this, he's been there, he's done that. Don't worry about it. Let him handle it. And trying to teach him along the way is just a great fucking story. And the story is similar to Last of Us, how you can look at this game and be like, wow, this could make a great show. Last of Us, the first season anyway, made a great show. You can watch that side by side and not change a fucking thing and be like, yeah, this is an awesome show. And that's pretty much what they did. And if they do the same thing, they put that same treatment onto it, it will translate very easily to a very beautiful story show of a season. 2 seasons, in fact. And it does make sense. You could do 2 seasons out of the first Data War. And even the second part, the second game, there's a lot in there with the son evolving and be more about the son and trying to find his giant lineage. Like, I can see there being 2 seasons already and it being justified. And this is going to be fun. The writers who I know, one of the writers anyway, I don't know all of them, but one of them is Mark Bernard, and he has a podcast with Kevin Smith, and he talks about it, and he's always talking about staying true to comic lore because he talks about comic books and he talks about other media like that, and it's always you need to stick to the if it's gonna be Fantastic Four, it needs to stick towards the lore of the comic book, and it was very stuck to the comic book. So he's already on that mindset already, and he's a big gamer, so he's played the Last of Us and got Data War and stuff like that, so he knows it. So I feel like they're gonna do this justification of I already have a script. I just need to write it down. What
Yeah.
about you?
Fuck yeah, I'm excited for it. My thoughts on the fact that they do it in the 2018 version rather than just angry Kratos. That wouldn't be much of a story, aside from a lot of anger and a lot of like people pissing off Kratos.
Yeah, it'd be no
The
story. It would just
2018,
be action
What?
movie, a John Woo movie.
Yeah, yeah, like a John Wick movie, pretty much, just with like fucking chain blades. um,
Yeah.
the 2018 version could still benefit from showing flashbacks and the background of Kratos in Greek mythology. So it's like we can still have both technically by just doing the 2018, because for those people who don't know about Kratos, because obviously when they make these TV shows aren't just for gamers. They have to be for a new crowd also. They have to be for people that have never played the games or seen the games or even know that it's a game in the first place. Um,
Mm.
so you want to be able to have a sense of mystery for Kratos and then slowly evolve him and show why he is the way he is. So those new people I think will find him very fascinating as to why he's kind of very reserved and very quiet and very strict with his boy, and just, his mannerisms and the way he talks, and like why it's almost like Wolverine, like you don't want him mad, and he tries not to get mad, but when he gets mad, all hell breaks loose. So people are going to wonder that also. So I think the 2018 version is perfect for them to start off with. Um, in general, I'm glad they're doing this, and I'm also glad that Barlog is attached to it, because we
Needs to be
already
played by
know
Conor McGregor.
who Kratos.
Not Kratos, the main bad guy from the
Oh,
first one.
Balder.
The
Ooh, that is a good casting. I like that.
because
I
he
like
doesn't have
that.
many lines besides the cockiness, right?
Did you
That's
see
it. He
Roadhouse?
doesn't
The
have a
new
lot of,
Roadhouse?
yeah, and he was good in that,
He was good
Like
in that.
I seen parts of it. He was good in that. I mean, again, all you need is for his action, so that's kind of what he's there for. He's in the
Yeah,
beginning, and then he gets killed, right? And then that's kind of what
yeah,
starts everything off.
yeah.
So he needs to be played by fucking Conor McGregor. So
That's
that spots it
good.
perfectly.
I like that. I like that a lot. I really do. That's good. Um, yeah, I'm glad that Barlog's attached, because we know growing up we've had 100 video game movies and TV shows and fail like astonishingly, because producers and writers and directors don't know the actual source material, or they don't care for
Yeah.
the source material, I should say. So having someone that is involved in the games means something for the fans. I understand that you have to change certain things to translate better into television, into like a different medium. So I hope they don't change too much. Like for example, like The Last of Us, they changed.
Yeah.
The one thing that they changed and made a lot of sense was the spores. There's no
Mhm.
breathing in the spores anymore. It's just like kind of like a zombie or vampirism thing. Like if you get bit, then you turn into it. So that made a lot more sense, because we don't want to see them have masks for half the fucking show because there's spores involved.
Yeah.
That's not how television works. It works different. You have to show your cast's face on television.
Especially Pedro Pascal. Especially Pedro Pascal. I can't put
Especially
him
Pedro.
out.
A little side tangent here. I am so worried about RDJ as Doctor Doom, because they have to show his face all the time. And he's rarely
Well,
going to wear that mask because they got to show his damn face. And it's already confirmed that he's not going to have a scarred face.
no, but that's also why they show that the mask can come off. He
So
takes
I'm
the mask.
curious. I'm curious why wear the mask
Spoilers
in
for
the
people who
first
haven't
place
seen
if
it.
you're not. Why wear the mask in the first place if you're not scarred? Is it going to be like some Iron Man technological thing? Are they going to kind of rewrite it?
Yeah, I don't know. And there was really is other iterations of Doctor Doom where he's not scarred. There's one,
Sure.
the funniest one,
The one
the
where he
funniest
kills
one
his family.
yeah, there's that one, but there's one iteration that I know for sure that to me was the funniest one, was that when he took off the mask, it wasn't that his face was completely scarred, is that he had a little scratch, a permanent scratch on his face. And that him being so vain
So
is
vain.
what drove
Yeah,
him
yeah,
to
yeah.
madness. And
Yeah.
I feel like if they did something like that, that'd be fucking hilarious almost. But I mean, there's a lot they can do.
Yeah.
And they can
Yeah.
they can do that. He's scarred as well, and the mask comes off and he talks, or you don't. I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe you
Maybe it's
don't
just
need
his
it.
battle helmet.
They've
It's
had
probably just
certain,
gonna be his battle helmet whenever they start a fight or some shit.
yeah, most likely it's just good whenever he fights. Is definitely his battle helmet, and he's
Yep.
gonna have it off most of the time. But I mean, they've done it with the Mando, where he had his fucking face. He had his helmet on the entire show, but it was Pedro Pascal. And it worked.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
really worked. And then
True.
when you did see his face, it was like it made more of an impact, and they could still do that and still have. Maybe this is why Robert Downey Jr. is agreeing to do the role. Of like, it's not going to take a lot of me. Like, you have to sit in
Well,
the booth
we'll
and
see.
talk. That's easy.
I don't
You know?
have a lot of hope with that. I feel like they're still gonna be like, oh no, we paid $50 million for RDJ. We're gonna show his face, kind of
Yeah.
deal. But we'll see. But yeah, tangent. Moving on from that, I can't get over how Conor McGregor would be actually perfect for Boulder. Who are we looking forward to being casted as Kratos? There's still just rumors. A cast has not been announced yet, but people are already fan casting. Christopher Judge is like probably on the top of the list for a lot of fans. Christopher Judge is a very, very big man. And he is the voice of Kratos in the 2018 God of War. People are fan casting him. People are fan casting Jason Momoa, Dave Bautista, Tom Hardy, The Rock,
Oh God.
Gerald Butler, and even John
Mhm.
Bernthal, the Punisher. Who does any of
I,
those
I
names
think
fit you? Or
to me, the most important aspect has to be that voice, of like getting as close to that voice as possible, because
Mhm,
that voice is kind of what made Dad of War so interesting. Of going, boy, no, this is like that. This sad sounding voice that he had. This you can hear the anger in his voice. That he is a very
mhm.
angry man, and he's now just dad angry all the time. You know, which I feel that pain. I think that's the most important part, and I think they know that because that's what make God of War. And just having that voice, having that scream, having that should be able to show that passion. The look,
Mhm.
whether they're bulky or big or whatever, it doesn't matter. They'll be able to do all types of shit. Don't worry about that. Like I'm not worried about that.
Okay.
You know. Um, it sounds racist, but I don't think they're gonna cast a black guy. I don't think they'll cast the actual voice actor because he's black.
Because he's a black
And
guy. I mean, Kratos
yeah,
is
I don't
still
think
technically black or dark skin, olive skinned.
he's white. He's white with that. I mean,
He's
I don't know, but
literally
he
white
seems
because of the ash, sure, but I'm talking about as an
yeah.
ethnicity.
I don't know. He seems more like almost like a Viking to me.
Hmm.
And I just don't think they're gonna go that far and change it. They change a lot of
Okay.
stuff, but I don't think they'll change that. And I think people will have backlash if they did. Unfortunately, they would be
No,
backlash.
I mean,
Not
and
that
I
I'm
don't think
saying
it would make
it
you
could
racist
work.
for saying that they wouldn't hire a black guy. I think it's reasonable to say that that's the way Hollywood is, and they wouldn't hire a black guy
Exactly,
because
exactly,
yeah,
exactly. And that's only because you said the voice acting. The voice actor is very,
yeah,
you know,
that
he's
voice
black.
is so
So
commanding, and he's a tall, big man.
yeah,
Like I think he
he
would
is a
fit
big
very
man.
well.
And it would be like if they could get him, it probably would be the best. Um, they will have to put him through like that Marvel fucking training to get that body. Like, hey, here's all the steroids, take them. That Marvel does.
Yeah,
Because secret, those bodies don't
the
get like
secret
that
of
unless
Marvel
you
of a Marvel physique.
100% the secret. Um, but yeah, they would have to just get him into shape or whatnot to actually do actual acting. Because like, yes, he does like acting, but I don't think he's done any real, not of interest anyway, of actual
I don't think so
roles
either. And to be honest, I don't know if he's done any other voiceover roles that have been significant
besides.
aside from God of War.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's kind of like
so
Candyman. He has a very distinct voice, right?
oh
Like
yeah,
all you hear
very.
is Candyman.
I
Yeah,
personally would love Jason Momoa. I think he's got the attitude to be very, especially since he was what was his name in Game of Thrones, Drago. Like that
Drago. Yeah,
character, the attitude. I'm not talking about like the acting because he didn't do much acting or much talking, I should say. Um, but his attitude, his demeanor, that fits very well for Kratos. So he could already do that very well. Very serious, very like no nonsense, very dangerous looking. But then
Yeah.
he still also has the voice. He has a very deep,
Yeah.
commanding voice. If you've listened to or if you've heard of a couple of the things that he's done before as well, and he's freaking, he's gonna be freaking Lobo. So I'm sure he's gonna be busy with that.
Yeah.
Um, but I hope for me, my top choice would be Jason Momoa. I don't. Please keep The Rock away from everything, anything and everything. I am over that. The Rock is just gonna play The Rock.
The
He's
Rock has
got
exactly. The Rock has the look. Like if you shut his mouth and not have him talk, then yeah, he has the
yeah.
look. I get it, but that's it, you know. And that again, the character. It's about the characters, about the acting. I can see Babe Batista pulling it off because he gets into his roles.
He yes.
But even he doesn't have that commanding voice like that.
Hmm.
He's very soft spoken, and that's what makes him interesting overall as a great actor. I
Hmm.
don't think he can pull that off. Um, I think they would have to get
He's
a
gonna
no.
see that as a challenge.
I think they would almost have to get a nobody, you know, like a
Oh,
no name person of like we didn't expect this guy. Kind of the way they got Bella Ramsey, like she was. Granted, a lot of people don't like her or whatever, but I think she did a decent. The first one anyway, not the second one, but the first one she was really good. The
yeah.
second one she was really bad. I think it went to her head, but
No,
um,
I think it's the writing.
like
I really think it's the writing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, sorry. I was actually just gonna say that. I was gonna say maybe not. It was actually the writing. Yeah, she did a phenomenal job. I think it's the writing. I really do.
Yeah.
She did what she would work with. So, but if you got a no name person like that for that role, and then you know, like you can have whoever the bad guys are to be your Pedro Pascal type of role. Of these are why you're also watching this because the bad guys in that are really interesting, right? Those gods and
Well,
the
you
people you
gotta
fight
be
and all that.
yeah. I was just gonna say though, you gotta be careful with who you cast because I like the idea of an unknown. And to finish my thought, you have to be careful with who you cast because of budget inflation. If you hire these big names, then
Yeah,
it raises the budget, which might you might end up cutting other things, which might reduce the production value of the show.
yeah.
That's what usually happen. But this is an Amazon production, so we don't know if like they just give them an infinite budget or just
Yeah,
a very high budget so they could pay off a really good actor.
those Amazons tend to have big budgets.
Look at
Like that
Lord of the
Twisted
Rings.
Metal. Yeah, fucking
With
that
Twisted
was
Metal is
pretty. I
Peacock.
mean, I'm not. I keep fucking getting it. I know that I couldn't find
Yeah.
it. I found it kind of, but different. Anyway,
Mm.
um, no, they have a lot of those Amazon have a lot of big budget stuff. So, oh, we'll see. I thought it was
Yeah.
HBO. This thing. This is not Amazon.
Um. No, it's Amazon. Yeah, it's Amazon,
Oh, I thought it
not
was HBO for
HBO.
some reason.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting.
So yeah, that's our thought on it. Really quick discussion over our excitement over a franchise that we've played all of them, every single one of them,
Mhm.
even the spin-offs. Like I've done a lot of the spin-off. I played all the spin-off games too, like the PSP version and whatnot. Um, so I love the franchise. I love the story. I love the characters. I can't wait for this one, and I feel like Amazon would do it justice because um, they I don't think they've disappointed me on any of their product that I watched so far. The Boys is really good. I don't
I
watch
love the
Lord of the
boys.
Rings, but Lord of the Rings is huge. Um,
What I hear,
yeah,
it's actually I seen the first season and a half, and I actually really enjoyed it. It's a little slow for
uh,
my tasting, but I actually do like it a lot. I see what they're
yeah.
doing. A lot of people love it who
It's
are really
very
into that type of stuff.
serious fantasy, like high
Yeah,
fantasy. Yeah.
it's that where those token books is where fantasy came from. Like
Oh
D and
yeah,
D kind of came from those books, so
yeah.
kind of pretty much. So yeah, you have to be high level fantasy when it comes to that, and they're on par with it. They did a really great job with all that, I think.
Mm.
So I'm looking forward to this.
Well,
Really am.
speaking of D&D, that is the end of our show. If you guys are interested, I do have D&D content on our page as well on YouTube. Um, me and Danny, we DM'd. I was in the middle of a Curse of Strahd We're not doing that one anymore, but Danny's in another campaign right now that we're working on. It's a high level campaign, but there are other campaigns too that you could kind of go back to, those playlists, if you guys want to check those out. And
Yeah, if
I
you ever
wanna
want
know
to see,
your
if you ever want to,
but
if you're ever interested in how level 20 people fight a Tarask at the end, take a
can't wait
look.
for
It's a
that.
short
I can't wait.
campaign, maybe 4, 5, 6 episodes long. They're going to be fighting. Spoilers for those who aren't, but they're going to be fighting Beholders soon, which everybody loves. They already
Jesus.
fought some Forest Giants and Archmages and things like that. And I'm going to try to get the most iconic of monsters out there for them to fight. And they are fully prepared. And if not, they're going to
Sure.
die.
Yeah, sure, prepared. Yeah. Shit, what I was gonna say.
That's it.
We're curious about your opinion on the God of War show. We're probably gonna be talking about Twisted Metal soon. We want to catch up on all the episodes, but we'll have an episode of talking about Twisted Metal, our thoughts on that. But God of War, tell us your thoughts on it in the comments below, and just I always say this. I want to say this in every episode. Just be freaking civil if you agree or disagree with people, because I don't tolerate that shit. So so just be civil about your disagreements, and we'll have some fun as a community. We'll see you next time.